This is Rob White with Envision Strategies here at NACAS 2025 in Vegas with my friend Elizabeth from App State.
Yep.
Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, well, why don't you tell the folks a little bit about App State and what's going on there?
Yeah, so I'm Elizabeth Riede. I'm the Executive Director of Campus Dining at Appalachian State. We are a rural mountain town up in the beautiful Appalachian Mountains, Blue Ridge Mountains in Boone, North Carolina. 21,000 students, just a little over. We've got about 6,200 students living on campus, a little over 8,500 meal plans. The program's grown a lot over the last 3 years.
Yes, it has.
And the school has been going through a lot of changes. We have a new chancellor, new leadership. And so it's just a really exciting time to be in auxiliaries.
Yeah. Well, so tell us about the student experience piece there. I know you've been working on that since you arrived, to really kind of elevating the experience. Kind of what's next in that? Where do you see the challenges and opportunities coming up?
Yeah, I think there's this narrative that gets spun about Gen Z a lot, that they like to hide behind their phones and they like to hide behind their devices, and that, the only way you can reach them is through social media. And I think what we're finding is that students really do crave that engagement, that community, and they want it in our spaces, but they want it when they want it.
Okay.
And I think they value their time in a different way. They value those relationships in a different way. And so I think the challenges that we're having, really the opportunities that we have, really center around how do we make those communities available for them when they want them? And then how do we allow them the flexibility to be a part when they need that? And so I think we have a huge opportunity to continue to build on that. And so a lot of our investments have centered around that.
Yeah, well, what's really interesting is along with your arrival on campus, you converted from a all declining balance kind of a retail model to having two major all you care to eat dining halls. Have you seen a shift in the way students, kind of what their dining experience? Are they hanging out, or is it still very, kind of rushing through the meal?
Yeah, I think we see a little bit of both on depending on the day, depending on the student. But I think we've been amazed at how long our students want to be in community with each other. I think, our average stay in our dining hall spans at least a meal and a snack.
Oh, wow.
So we have people who swipe in, they hang out. It is their kitchen, it is their living room, it is their dining room, it
Yeah.
is their library. And we have all those facilities on campus and they have their place, but I think our students really find it valuable to be in community with each other and have all those things in one place.
So maybe obvious question, maybe not. If they're hanging out more and they're just eating, is your food cost going up? I mean,
No, actually, it's not.
really?
No, it's amazing to me because I think people learn how to be in the space that they're in. And so, granted, like the first 2 weeks of school, like we
Yeah.
really had to teach people, and I say this all the time, that all you care to eat doesn't mean pick up the whole chocolate sheet cake and bring it to your table for you and your 4 friends to enjoy. Um,
I want to try that sometime. Yeah.
but they learn really fast. And I
Mhm.
think when you're in community with one another that much, I think you learn how to be respectful of the space around you, how to be what you want, what you truly want to eat. I think we also have really sustainability conscious students and really socially conscious students. And so they're not really interested in piling a bunch of stuff on a plate that they're not going to eat.
Yeah.
I think a lot of our waste comes from people wanting to try something. And the all access environment is a really awesome,
Yeah.
risk free way for them to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, all right. So you've done so much now. What's next? Like, if you could wave a magic wand, what might you do? Operationally, organizationally. What's coming up for you?
Yeah, I think a lot of it centers around our end employee users. There's so much friction in their work right now. And I think we're
Yeah.
in such
Wow.
an awesome age of opportunity that there's so much opportunity for us to make that job easier for them. And from a financial and stewardship perspective, we kind of need to continue to do that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so it's the right thing for them, it's the right thing for the business, and it's the right thing for our customers. And so I think if I could wave a magic wand, it would be whatever that frontline employee needs to make their job so easy that they don't even have to think about it, that they can really focus on their development, that they feel engaged, and that they're not experiencing all that friction in their work.
So when I think about the front line, then are you finding that mostly these are permanent full-time employees, or you got students on the front line? I mean, what's the mix there?
Yeah, so we have a little over 130 full-time employees and then over 500 student
Oh,
employees. So
wow.
our
Okay.
mix skews very heavily student.
Yeah.
And we heard on the panel yesterday from the students that they really crave those work opportunities. They really take it as an opportunity to engage and get those life skills. I think students are coming to us looking for different competencies. I think this is a really digitally native
Yep.
generation.
Yep.
They want opportunities to work that leverage those skill sets. We certainly do have a really strong student dishwashing crew, but anymore, that's not necessarily the reason that they want to come to us. And I think we have some really amazing opportunities for us to engage with them that way.
That's really impressive. Yeah. So if I were a colleague and I'm trying to get, move the dial on my, on my program, and I need the support from administration, maybe I need investment, I need to make some organization changes. What advice would you give me as to how do you go about getting that support?
I think the first thing is be curious about what interests them. What questions do they have? What perception of their program do you already have? Um,
Yeah.
I heard on the panel yesterday, like lean into your hospitality.
Yeah. Right.
Um, I have a podcast, and one of the things that I talk to folks about I have these like rapid fire questions that I ask,
Oh,
and one
okay.
of them is, what's one thing that a human can do that a robot can't replicate, right?
Uh,
And I think hospitality is one of those things,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so. We have that, and other areas on campus don't necessarily see that. And so I think anytime that you're going to sell your program, storytell an investment, talk about the ROI, a lot of that's tied up in how you make people feel and how you make your students feel. And so it's important you give your administration the opportunity to feel those things. So bring them into your dining halls, bring them into your student centers, let them see the student experience and that place that you're creating for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So you have a podcast, Eddie. What
yeah.
is it called?
Human at the counter.
Human at the Counter. All
Yeah.
right, check it out, everybody.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, thanks so much for coming by.
Yeah. My
And
pleasure. Thanks
yeah,
for having me.
absolutely.